Hey friends, here we are at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the brand new Gen 4 cars on iRacing, and really the race here today is to see whether these cars are now the best cars on iRacing. Certainly, are they the best cars on oval? Quite worried about the race, so I decided not to qualify. We're going to start right at the back in 23rd place, just waiting for the 17 car to grid up. And then we'll be underway. As you can see, I've painted the car, given it a nice orange paint scheme. It's based on Tony Stewart paint scheme from 2005, so just a couple of years older than the date of this car, 2003, sorry. And it looks like we're underway now, but in real life, as I'm trying to record this live, I have issues. Everything comes to a standstill, so I have to kill the recording. So that's why I'm bringing this to you after the race, unlike what I normally do. But this race is too good to let it go without a video, so we're going to do this differently. Up in not P22, but car 22 is in P12 is the one and only Dan Bond. Daniel is a friend of the channel and a viewer, and he raced for the Formula Llama team. As you can see, they have their own channel as their car advertises. So we're about to come up to go green here. I'm just concerned about easing myself into the race. We're going to look at the leader to see when they go. We've got a blinker up there, so I'm thinking actually that was right in front of Daniel, so could there possibly be an early wreck here? I just want to protect the car, and away we go. There's one car that pulls down low on the insides. Is that going to put them 3-ish wide? There's one car going up the middle. I'm just going to go high there because there's a car to my inside, 19. And yeah, let's talk a bit about the car. Well, I forgot to say, on the livery, advertising at our channel, of course. But yeah, this car has a lot of grip to start off with. The tyres work really well. I'm netting the 13 through here. We're just going to sit behind Jesse and think about breakfast cereal for a little while. And this car, a lot of grip, can be very fast early in the run, but I noticed in practice that tyre wear happens very quickly. I was struggling to really get the tyres that last the whole stint. I did a lot of practice. I noticed early on here, the 13's pushing up high, so maybe he's not quite in control of what he's doing, even though he's 2.8k, so I think we just want to get ahead of the Kellogg's car of Jesse there. He's still to our outside, so we're going to have to come off the corner low here. I think we might get it done into turn 3. And at the moment, just concentrating on keeping the car low in the corners, so we're not overworking the tyres specifically. Noticed a lot of the cars, particularly in 9 there, is going up high. So the blue car up there is going up quite high. Not quite figured out turns 1 and 2 in the race just yet. Turning a bit low, but 3 and 4 seem to be working well. And it's a good start. I'm amazed really that this hasn't ended up in an early caution. Everyone seems to be behaving themselves and keeping calm, realising we've got a whole 80 laps to get through. You see, I get a bit too low again, but we've quickly dropped Jesse, David and Guy behind. There's a bit of a gap, quite a gap has opened up behind us. So we're up to P21 right now, but as I said that, in front of us we've got the 5 cars in front of us, maybe a bit of a gap between the blue car and the grey car up there, but after the 5 cars ahead of us, there is quite a gap starting to form. I mean, not huge, But it does sort of indicate that maybe these drivers are a little on the slower side, slower than my pace. In qualification, I think I would have qualified roughly where Daniel started, which I've forgotten now. Was it about P15? So I think we should on pace be up there with the main pack there. Looks like Daniel is actually the one at the end of the largest pack up there. So now I'm starting to think, well, maybe do I need to start working on getting past these cars, get a bit of oversteer out of the corner. And it's quite easy to do this car. Get the oversteer, it can be quite wiggly. What I advise, if you're trying it, you're finding it too wiggly, then experiment with different steering ratios. I've gone down to an 8-to-1. I found that was much easier down the straights to contend with, able to get on the throttle, but you can still get loose out of the corners. And as you see, I'm not really going full throttle until we get the steering wheel straight at the moment. But we're going to go for a pass on the 9 here. Want to get past Paul. He is going a bit high and he's going to wear through those tyres quite quickly. And we make the move done. Now, up next is Earl in the 21 Oreo car. He looks like he is trying to get past Nathan. And, yeah, I'm not sure whether he's going to succeed here, but you see he gets the inside but goes well slow. I have to brake a bit extra and that slows me down. And now Paul's right behind us, just 0.1 of a second. So I'm going to have to be patient here, give Earl a little bit of time to get past Nathan. If not, maybe I can have a look here. Can I get up the inside? I decided to back out of that because it looked like he was going to cut down there, and that cost me a bit more time. So I'm trying to not get frustrated. The grey car has got past Charles up there and is closing in on the main pack. Looks like one has white car up there has come off quite low from the corner, so had an issue, but we're still under green at the moment. This time 21 pushed up high again, but no, I'm not going to stick my nose up there because that's just going to cause an incident. But I think I got him worried a bit because he's now a little bit all over the place. I hit the wall quite hard there. I do my favourite button, ask for a damage report from the spotter, and the car is fine. But I've got to run after going high in that corner, run on the 21, and we're going to stick it on the inside, keep it low. He pushes up high a bit, and we get the position up to 18th there. Now the 24 is being much more consistent. Maybe he's saving tyres. No, he's a long race. I mean, 25 in this one, and the 17 didn't show up, so he's guaranteed to finish at least his car number, but probably not expecting too much in the race. E2 is going high in 3 and 4, which I'm trying not to do. Not sure which lane he wants to pick here. And we just try and get to his inside here, just scare him up a bit. He's able to keep the speed up high, but I think he then backs off a little on the exit. I'm not really too confident with 2. I think that was my one weak corner on this track, is getting out of 2. And we get to his inside there. A little bit of banging. We keep him on the outside, and hopefully we can start to edge ahead, and we do. We just edge a little bit ahead now. But I think is he going to come back down the straight here? He is. He gets a much better run out of 2. I decide to throw it in a bit harder, just to carry a bit more speed. And we're still side by side. And this is great stuff. Still side by side. And I get loose out of the corner, and we can't get it done. But I'm trying to, you know, do it with the least effort possible, not to take anything out of these tyres. And up in front, the 7 gets turned maybe by the other car off the wall, and that brings out the caution. So we end up having the first caution in the race, and I've got some thinking to do. Do we want to pit for fuel?
So we're riding along with the 14 here, Charles, and you can see 7 gets a wiggle on, and Charles just ends up driving straight through him. Let's have a look at the chopper cam. Yep, no attempt from Charles there to avoid that.
So I decided to come down pit road. We're in P18, but we're not going to lose many positions. It's likely the cars behind us will come down anyway. We're going to take fuel, obviously, because we need fuel to get to the end, but also 4 tyres as well, which is a little bit of a gamble because maybe it's a bit early, but everyone was kind of calm on that first run. Just was thinking, no, if we get another 18 lap run, the tyre's going to be pretty warm by the end of it. You know, but there's potential if we go a full run here, we'll get very close to the end, and then the tyres will be really worn. So we're taking some tyres there. It looks like we actually made our position. We've come out in P17. So let's go to the green, shall we? Okay, it's 1 to green. We're up to P15. A few more people are pitted. And because of a bug in this, we're having double file restarts, which isn't correct to the period. But I think the restart we should be having has got a bug in it, which hopefully iRacing will fix. Looks like the top 6 didn't pit, but everyone else has pitted there. Daniel's quite far up there, but we're going to be focused on the leader. Got a good view of them, and they're off. Didn't want to react too quickly. No one to our inside, so we're going to slot down behind the 12. Looks like they're taking it cautiously as well. But the racing is quite hard in front. Lots of cars pushing up high. Does feel like the pace is a bit stronger, but then we are further up ahead. So 15th really was sort of a target position, so anything we can make further here will be a bonus. Now oh no, what's that in front? There's a car spinning, and straight into the back. At that stage, I was very much looking at in my rear view mirror because there was a car right behind us doing all sorts of things, so my reaction was very slow, and we've got quite a bit of damage. So we're going to have to come down pit road this time. Looks like Daniel was involved in that one as well. Let's have a look at the replay.
So looking from chopper cam, just look at Daniel in the centre there. He just moves up slightly, tanks the 10. That's enough to move the 10 around, and sadly I pile in, and so does the 13, and gives Daniel a lot of damage. Ruins his race. On board with Daniel now. It's just a slight movement up, hardly anything there, but 3 wide just shows how difficult it is. And yeah, that pretty much finished Daniel's race. Riding on the 13, Jesse, see what he sees, and just plows into the back of Daniel there. That's an unfortunate one.
Well, as you can see, there is a lot of damage to Daniel's car. We're going to come down pit road and see what the damage is. I'm going to fuel up because the previous run we didn't quite have. I think we were 9 litres short of making it a full way, so we do need fuel to take it to the end. But not going to take tyres because we would have done hardly anything to them. And it does look like we have about 1.5 minutes damage, so we're going to see if we can get that all done. Right, we got damage all done just before the leaders, the pace car, came back around. So we're going to get out in time to be at the back of the pack. Looks like we're exiting the pit at the same time as the 7, who we know we're quicker than, and we're just ahead of him. It's Right, so we're starting back in 20th place here. Interestingly, the 5 didn't pit. I don't know why. We need fuel to get to the end. So he's on old tyres. We have to assume everyone else is on new tyres now. But there are a number of cars that didn't pit on that last caution. So here we go. The leader's gone. We're going to go bring it slowly up to pace. Yeah, there's like 8 cars that didn't pit on that caution. So there is big potential that they haven't got enough fuel to make it to the end. Now, they would have saved a bit being under caution. And I'm looking now at my fuel, really to see what the usage is, whether we've got enough to get to the end. I'm going to ease myself in. And there's a few 2 wides on up there, so potential for another wreck. And early indications at this pace we just make it. I know I can go quicker than this, but I don't really want to at this stage, because this could be turned into a fuel race if there's not another wreck or incident, not another caution. We got a few lap cars, including the 17 who's ahead of us. Also, we've got to take these tyres a long way if there isn't another caution. I see people up front have gone out quite quickly. So even people that pitted with us, they might not be able to make it if they're going too quickly. Just seeing what the 17 and the 19 want to do here. We know that we're quicker than the 19 from previous. And looks like we just set a very quick time there. So even without pushing it, we're still capable of quick laps on these fresh tyres. We get past the 19 there. And basically, for the next few laps, we settle in. Well, we jump forward to lap 43. Nothing's really happened. We did drop off quite a way, but notice now we're just starting to gain on some cars. The 7 has dropped back. He was involved in that first incident. Maybe he's still got a bit of damage, or is just slow. And so I notice there's a few going high already. We're not that many laps into this run. Obviously, once the tyres start to wear, it's easier going high. So I start thinking about, is it now time just to ease ourselves past some of these slower cars? And maybe I might need to just push it a bit, get very sideways there. Too much throttle on exit. 2 is still causing us problems. Looks like 17 is also having a problem. Is he pitting here? I don't know why he's going so slow. He lets Nick around. So are we going to have to get past? Oh, I'm not sure what lane he's picking there. He's all over the place. Then he goes high. Maybe he wants to let us pass. There's one coming out of the pit here. 16 after getting damage done. We get through both of those up to P19. But I still very much think we're quicker than the 7, the 14 at the moment. And we know we're quicker than the 9. The main pack is 8 seconds off. The leader's 8 seconds off, so we're not too far behind. It does look like one of those that pitted on that 24 is now up in the lead. And what I noticed, from pushing it, trying to get past the 17 there, that actually, if I push too hard, then we haven't quite got enough fuel to make it to the end, according to my Race Labs fuel calculator. So we still need to settle into, I mean, I don't want to say it's a slow pace, it's not a slow pace, but can't push it. But I think not pushing it is going to be good, because it doesn't look like we're going to get a wreck. There's some real gaps forming. Up there they're like 2-3 wide, but everyone seems to be quite calm. But what does seem to be happening is people start losing their tyres pushing up high. So we're coming to the end of that 48, and the 7 there scrapes the wall. The 9 has suddenly just dropped backwards, and the 14's got past. They could be too wide here. Yeah, they are too wide. I'm still getting a little loose off 4 there. One of the ways I'm saving fuel is not always using full throttle down the straights. We might not need it as well with the wheel sprint. 9's dragging the wall there, lots of sparks. We're going to go to his inside and just take it nice and easy on the inside. 7's still working up high. We got past Paul, so up to P18, and very much now I'm thinking, you know, it's been quite a long stint so far. This could go all the way. This could go all the way. So are we going to start seeing people suddenly fuel saving and being a lot slower? The 23, maybe he's realised that. Sorry, that's the 25, David. He's got a bit of damage. He pitted on lap 19, so he definitely hasn't got enough fuel to make it. Unless he really saves hard. So he's let the 7 pass. And he's given me a lane on the outside. So he just wanted to keep it on the inside. We're going to have to go around the outside here. Which I did practice quite a bit before the race. Not that good, but we get past him. There, so up to P17. So we're not only a couple of spots off. 2 cars come together there, one into the wall really hard. We get past him. The other one's wobbling about. The yellow car off track to avoid it. Quite a big moment that is. Let's have a look at what that caused that.
Replay shows the 2 cars side by side, and the 23 gets a massive slide on and hits the 19. 19 does really well to save that. Yellow car to take avoiding action. He's done well there. So ride along on board with the 23, Tom, and you can see the big slide he gets out right there, contact, and he ends up whacking the wall and riding the wall, and that's race ending damage there for Tom.
Right, so the 7 nick is all over the back of Charles. Charles had to check up massively for that wreck, but I don't know who's quicker out of these 2. But again, I notice I'm checking my fuel, because if I start pushing it too much, we can't make it. But yeah, up to 16th place now. Charles is keeping a nice low line. But this car, I mean, the power it's got is so immense. There we go, we're getting loose before we get to one. That's probably my skill, but realising that I am probably a lot better than what some are doing to their tyres up here. They've pushed it from the start of the stint. And I don't think I've ever been worked out as much driving an oval car. So much going on with the pedals and the wheel, and it's so hot in the office as well. It's just such a workout. I'm not too concerned about this at the moment. The 40 hits the wall, because I realised, you know, suddenly people might just lose tyres. certainly 7 is going to, at some point, he's always pushing up higher on 4, which is a great way of burning tyres. I'm getting loose again. It looks like someone's died into the pits there, so we're up to P14. I think that was the car that hadn't pitted. Or is it? Yeah, the 4 car. Or was it the 5? One of them, they hadn't pitted, so they've now pitted. I guess they were thinking we would get another caution, but I mean, this is so different to what I was expecting. Everyone is racing really well, so this is going to be quite a good thing in my mind for the rest of the season. We're at Bristol next week. It may be very different at Bristol. But there's now large gaps appearing in the field. But my focus is really just getting this car home. You know, we're above our iRacing. Obviously, there's a caution at any point now. Everyone's going to come down and take tyres. And, you know, maybe the leaders are relying on there being a caution that back out the front. Decided to take a high line, just going where the car wants it to go. That was to let the 19 pass. Didn't realise that. He's come out of the pits. Probably on fresh tyres. But it's good to try different lines as well. Go where the car wants to go and see whether you're saving anything. Another car coming out the pits here. He's keeping low. We're going to go 3 wide, which is a bit of a worry. 7 backs out, thankfully. I think 25 is going to be slow initially, so we go to his outside. He's letting us go. And notice all of a sudden there's a bit of a pack in front of us. The Euro car's trying to get round, but hits the apron, gets loose. Guys on fresh tyres coming through. 21 is pushing up high massively, and at that point that down car was trying to get past, so we were almost 3 wide. I was very worried, but he decided to back out of it. It's a P13 now. So we've got Adam, the 15 car. He's gone really high, working the absolute high line. Lots of people banging the wall down the straight. The car is quite lively on the straight. Easier with the lower gear ratio. And we get to the underside of Adam. Another one in the pits as well. So that puts us up to P2. Was that 1 or 2? Or 2 cars in the pits? We're not up to P2, of course. We're up to P11. 7's setting good pace. But we're still side by side with the 25. He's on the fresher tyres. He lapped down, so we'll let him go. He's obviously got them warmed up and is going to be able to go quicker than us the rest of the run, but he's not going to catch up before the end of this race. Not a whole lap. Lap 63, sorry. Not too many to go. So I'm wondering, you know, is Nick actually gonna use up his tyres? Is this pace actually saving them? Can we get past? He's pushing really high in 4, very high, right up to the wall. Not a good line. I'm getting loose. But I'm starting to think maybe a P10 is possible. There is a pack of 4 cars up there that seem to be holding each other off. Nick again pushing high. We let the 4 go on the outside there. He was another one that pitted for fuel and new rubber, but he's a lap down. We get a good run here. Nick was quite slow in that corner. Not going low, we're going to cut down a little bit, try and get a good run out before. Maybe we can get to his inside. Just staying off so we don't get too loose, keep the car straight. He's going to go high again. I'm going to take sort of middle line. Starting to think of maybe a late cut down is maybe a good way to go. As the tyres are starting to wear quite a bit. But it didn't work out at 2 there. Seems to be better out of 4. I think we get to Nick's out inside. Nick's on the outside. Can we drive it in a bit harder into 1? We should do. And, still side by side. Still there. This may take a few laps to get done. Can drive it in harder into 3. And we are going to cut it down late. And get that move done. So that puts us up to P10. I'm feeling really good about this. I thought top 10 is an excellent result for me. 23 is coming out of the pits. I'm not sure we've seen him at all. Maybe we have. Nick's all over my back end at the moment. I'm going to need to drive a bit quicker. And let the 5 pass, who's just pitted, just come out of the pits. That seems to work well. We get a bit of a gap on Nick now, 0.3 seconds, and it's 1.7 to Charles in 9th. But all of a sudden I noticed that there was a big group of cars up there, like 8, 9 of them. Now some of them might be lapped down, but a lot of them, if not all of them, we might even be seeing the front of the field up there. They're starting to just slow down a bit. So have people suddenly noticed they've not got enough fuel for these last 10 laps? 24 is pit, so we let him pass. There's also the 16 as well. So we see a lot have decided to pit because they weren't going to make it on the fuel. Still 1.7 to Charles. We've got 10 laps to go now. And I'm very much in my mind thinking, you know, we got a top 10 here. This is a good result. Let's bring this home, and some people might run out before the line. Charles just been passed by Nathan, 24. I don't know what Corey 16 is doing up in the wall up there. He's just got fresh tyres. It should be easy. 0.6 back to Nick, and 1.5 to Charles, who's had to let the lap down cars through. So we're gaining a little bit there. Not many laps to go, but that big group of cars, they're definitely getting closer. As I said, some of them will be lapped down, but there might be more positions to play for here. 2 seconds to 11 now, and it's all getting very busy. Thankfully, if there is a wreck, we're far enough back to avoid it. 1 car up in the wall. That could be someone we're racing. Didn't see who it was, because that's the other thing. People might be suffering with tyre wear, not just fuel issues. So it's very hard to know whether people are slowing down because of their fuel saving, or just because their fuel saving and their tyres are gone. We're closing in on Charles, but closing in quicker on Colin and Tyler there. We go high because there's a 23 to our left. let him past. Someone else who's pitted. And there's a lap down. Big oversteer from me. I think I'm starting to get excited for whether we can make up more positions before the end. We're getting to that point, you know, I need to just sort of up the pace, I think, a little bit, as much as we can. It's still risky. I'm looking at my fuel calculator. It says at one point it's saying we're only going to have 0.3 of a litre left, which is the minimum to get across the line. The pace has dropped right down. Our best lap is a 30.6, 32.2 at the moment. But that's the tyre where 23's blinking, could cause an issue, but the 6 has really dropped back hard. So he pitted the same lap as us, lap 24, so maybe he is just fuel saving massively. So this is all going to get rather busy now to the end of the race. So we get to the inside of the 6, can we make the move? I'm wiggling down the straight again. It's getting too close to the line in the D. There. 3 wide up ahead, 3 wide, maybe almost 4 wide. The 12 we were with earlier in the race, he's dropping back. Colin's making moves. Can we get up the inside? Yes, he pushes up high, the 12, so we're going to really take a risky move and get to the inside. And that's another position, right to P8. And I think we're, out of all these cars that we can see, we're the quickest. Still haven't caught Charles, but I think he's being held up a bit. Can we get the 11? Now he's pushing out high out of 4. I'm still getting oversteer. And the 2's going slow. That must be fuel saving. Not quite getting up to the end. That puts us up to P7. I think we can get the 11, but he's holding a really good line. So might have to go high here. Then get a run out the corner. Yeah, he's pushing up high again, but I get a bit loose. The 10's going slow. Obviously hasn't got enough fuel. So we're on the last lap now, white flag. Can we get the 11 on the last lap? It's a shame we haven't got to Charles. I think we were a bit quicker, but I couldn't really push it anymore. We dive in on Colin there, make him make the decision whether he wants to be turned across our nose or not. And out the corner, we just get ahead of him, and then we take the flag, and it's a P5. I'm ecstatic at that, absolutely ecstatic. The 4 cars ahead of us all pitted on the same lap. Well done to the one who won, and yeah, I think that might be my best overall race. One of my best overall races, certainly against such a strong competition. And this car is awesome. It is amazing. Give it a go on oval.
The car is just producing really good kind of racing, and with a split like this, was able to keep the cautions to the minimum, which makes it even better. But yes, lots of power. Have to use brakes into the corners. Great racing. Give it a go. If you like this video, hit the like button. Why not subscribe while you're at it? And then watch another video that's suggested here